Today we have with us Mr. Punit Kothari, who is currently pursuing his bachelor's in business administration from Universal Business School, Maharashtra. Today he'll be sharing his overall Universal Business School experience with us and an in-depth analysis as to why he chose Universal Business School in particular and what led him to choose this particular school for his educational journey. So first of all, Punit, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, this is Punit. I'm 18. I'm from Kolkata. I completed my high school from the Heritage School from IBDP, and I'm into dance, athletics, sports, and also somewhat into cultural activities. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Punit has indulged in a lot of various different sports and business opportunities and stuff like that. He's done a lot of internships. So yeah. So my first question to Puneet is, what made you choose Universal Business School in particular over other business schools, and what led you to choose this school?
Right. So before coming to UBS, I had an exposure to international curriculum. I was pursuing IBDP in the Heritage School only, and after pursuing that curriculum, after completing the diploma, you always look for a global exposure. You know, while not going abroad, I was looking for that exposure in India itself. And partnership with Cardiff University made Universal Business School my right choice. And also, I had a word with a lot of seniors, a lot of alumni, and I saw a lot of videos on YouTube as well. So all of them gave me a very positive feedback and gave me the right push towards choosing UBS.
Okay, yeah. So as we all know, like Universal Business School is big on global curriculum. They have a lot of global programs, like the 2+1 programs. There's the Cardiff Met is their partner university. So yeah, a lot of students who are looking for that global exposure, that global curriculum, tend to find themselves here at Universal Business School. So my next question to you is, like, how has your overall experience been with Universal Business School? You've been in the school with the school for the past year, and what has been your experience, like curriculum wise, academic wise, and like socially? How has it been? Please let us know.
Sure. So, when you arrive in college, when you step foot into college, you realize how it is, very different from your school life. So my experience here has been, very dynamic. There has been lots of ups, lots of downs. You get detached from your previous circle. You get a lot of freedom here in college. So it was very dynamic here, right? And it's been 5 months from since I stepped into Universal Business School, and I've participated. I'll talk about extracurriculars and co-curriculars because that is my forte.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So I've participated in a lot of events, UBS Olympics, UBS Watch, Case Mania. There's great exposure here. You get a lot of every week. There's something or the other happening where you can participate. Give your contribution towards it. And I've been part of the Arts and Culture Club since last 2 or 3 months, and we've already organized 2 or 3 events. And getting that exposure, organizing events, I think that is one of the most significant, or one of the most amazing things which has happened to me since coming here.
Yeah. Universal Business School is huge on societies. They want you to network with people and be more socially outgoing, so that it helps you further in your like business life and stuff like that. So cool. Also another question is that what would you say has been your most defining moment in these past 5 months? What has been the moment which defined you at your Universal Business School journey?
As I told you, one of the most amusing things which ever happened to me was organizing these events. So when I was in the organizing committee of these events, I used to get an on-field experience, which is very different from the theoretical world. And you realize how little you know, and the scope of experimenting is endless. And of course, learning is always there. When you do an on-field research, when you do on-field activities, when you organize such events, learning is endless. And I think that is where somewhere I proved myself, and also I learned a lot. So I think that's been the most defining moment in
Yeah, you
UBS.
definitely learn a lot about yourself once you are put in these positions to organize huge events, and like you're put in under the
Mm-hmm.
spotlight and the pressure, and you find out how good you are at tackling those problem solving issues and stuff like that. So it really tests you and makes you improve in your entire academic journey. Okay, so my next question is that UBS has been a pioneer in practical based learning, and they're always huge on like practical based learning and experiential based learning. So, what exceptional educational experiences have you had while you are at UBS, and what all practical based learning experience did you find yourself at?
So, one of the most amazing things about the curriculum of UBS is the integration of real life case studies, right? So, we've been taught a lot of examples, a lot of case studies where we find problems and we also know about how these companies solve them. And the professors here, they also ask us to solve problems on our own, give a creative notch to it and make something very innovative and put up our critical thinking and our decision making skills and create a solution there. So UBS also took it one notch higher when they organized these case mania, and they also organized case blazers. So whatever we learn in classes, we also get to participate in these events and test ourselves. And these case studies are the form of practical learning and checking out how real world problems look like and finding the viable solutions for the same. I think that's been the most distinguished part of practical learning for me.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, as you said, like case studies and stuff like that definitely help a lot because you're basically put in the work-life situation, and that sort of environment is created in the college itself, so you get to first-hand experience it. So yeah, I think that's amazing. So another big vision that UBS has is to create future business leaders that are ethically responsible. So how has UBS transformed you to be a more ethically responsible and contributing member of the society?
Now, as you all know, UBS is the first Green B school of India, right?
Yes.
So after that notion, when you hear about this notion and when you get into this environment where you are surrounded by greenery and all kinds of in animals, species, flora and fauna, surrounded by greenery everywhere. So you become conscious, you become subconsciously conscious about your behavior. You stop littering, you stop doing activities which might be harmful for the environment. You do it subconsciously, but you do it. And that's where they transform you, becoming more responsible towards the environment and hence towards the society. And UBS also tries to inculcate leadership skills. They try to develop critical thinking skills, decision making, innovative thinking, time management. Personally, my life has become more balanced, and my time management skills have also improved because right now when I'm getting the freedom, when I'm not in bounds of my home or in my school, I don't have a particular timing of everything. I have to balance my lifestyle between academics and my sports, my dance, whatever activities which I'm pursuing, getting active in my clubs. So I have to make my lifestyle very balanced, and that is how I made my timetables and improved my time management skills. So these all are some or the other aspects of leadership skills which UBS tries to inculcate within their students.
I loved your perspective on how like subconsciously you become aware of your surroundings and how you're like subconsciously you're more eco-friendly and more ethically responsible. I think that is great, and I think more schools should definitely adopt those kinds of policies where we're not consciously thinking about it, but subconsciously it comes to you naturally that you should be more you know sustainably developed to and aligned towards those sorts of policies. So yeah, I think that is amazing. So another question I have is that why did you choose BBA in particular at Universal Business School, and what oriented you towards it?
Now, one of the main, the primary factor of me choosing BBA was the influence from my family because I belong from a business-oriented family, and I've always been inspired after seeing my father, how he carries out his business, and I've always been, motivated by him to do something in those lines, parallel to those lines. So I think that was my primary motivation, and looking at UBS, you get a lot of global exposure to global trading room, ELC clubs. you get a lot of international exposure as well as on-field exposure. So I think that made me, or that gravitated me to choose BBA and UBS.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, like the whole first global trading room any business school has, which is amazing. Coming back, that whole experiential learning part of their revision is amazing, and it really does help students prepare themselves for the corporate life and the business life which they've opted for. So yeah. Finally, Puneet, my last question to you is that UBS offers an extensive list of global degree courses, as you mentioned before. They have Cardiff Met is the partner university, and these programs inculcates international curriculum. In addition to all this international and global exposure, it has also attracted students from across the globe to their campus. What has been your anecdotal experience regarding such a diverse and global learning experience, and how have you interacted with other students from other countries, and what has your anecdotal experience towards all of this?
Another amusing factor about UBS is the diverse culture. Being in the environment of a diverse culture, I've made an interesting observation, which is how people from different cultures or different geographical locations might act very differently in the same situation. It's also very interesting to see the difference in perspectives of people around you, or how you might not have even imagined about their perspective. You get to know more about their perspectives when you get into events, when you get into competitions. You see their solutions, you see their reasons, see their perspectives of how they're approaching things and how they're taking on things which you might take very differently. So, these are all very interesting aspects, and you learn how to communicate with them on the basis of, their perspectives. If they get offensive about something which they're not liking, if they other people might get not offensive, or other how people get offensive about some particular things, you get how you learn how to communicate efficiently and effectively. So I think that's been my experience with the diverse culture.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Because like being politically correct in today's age is a very important aspect to have in your corporate arsenal. Because communication and being politically correct is very important these days. Because a lot of companies and a lot of PR stuff definitely take that very seriously. And I think this global exposure definitely empowers you to be more politically correct and handle those situations with professionalism and the utmost importance. So yeah, I think that is amazing. So, Puneet, it was great having you and learning about your experience at UBS. You were a great speaker, and yeah, I love to hear your perspective about the school and how your experience was, how UBS empowers you to be a more ethically responsible business leader, and also equips you with the tools you need to face the corporate life.